Hey guys, Dr. Kahu here and welcome back to my channel. Now today we're going to be doing a continuation to the what if that came out recently, and that is What If Naruto Awoken the Rinnegan Part 2. Now as usual guys, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and because you guys smashed that like button, to which I absolutely appreciate, I'm going to give you guys a bit of a leeway here guys, and set the next video, part 3, for 250 likes. If you guys reach 250 likes, I'll bring it out. Bear in mind guys, I apologize for not bringing the video out when I reached this like goal. I had to do my children. Sorry, but things are in the way now, okay guys, so bear in mind. But I'll still be smashing the videos out, okay guys? So stay tuned, and I appreciate all you guys, everything, okay? You guys are awesome, thank you for that, and I hope you guys like the series. But yeah, without further ado guys, let's get into this next part of the spot off, and that is What If Naruto Awoken the Rinnegan Part 2. Now let's begin. So as usual guys, we'll do a quick recap of what happened previously and we'll jump into the next part, okay guys? So right away let's get into it. So previously what happened, where I last actually left off, Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura and Kakashi have just finished the Land of Wave arc. Naruto has realized what it is he could do to fix Kakashi and his Sharingan, and with the help of Kurama, he was able to put the necessary chakra and rewrite the chakra pathway in Kakashi's body to accept and use the Sharingan as if it is his own. In doing so, as Naruto released the chakra on Kakashi, Kakashi slowly but surely opened his eyes. And from that guys, you guys are caught up, let's begin part 2. So as Kakashi opens his eyes, his Sharingan activates for a brief moment and deactivates. In deactivating, Naruto realizes that he perfectly and successfully fixed Kakashi's eye. Kakashi's standing there, he's like, how did you do that, Naruto? Naruto goes, the chakra inside stated that, well, for me, it was like it was talking to me, Kakashi-sensei. Kakashi's like, huh? Sasuke's like, huh? Sakura's like, I don't have no clue, okay? And as they're walking back to the Konoha, Naruto's like, yeah, I saw that the chakra wasn't actually mixing properly, and as such, the eye was kind of screaming to be helped, in a sense. Well, that's what I think about it anyway, Kakashi-sensei. Long story short, me and the Ninetales, we used the chakra and the Rinnegan to move things around, and voila, your eyes are done. Kakashi looks at Naruto and goes, oh. And he goes, try activate it, Kakashi-sensei. Kakashi focuses and activates it, and it's so much easier than him having to activate it all the time. He's like, what the, like, it kind of confused him, because he only has one Sharingan, but the Sharingan's more powerful than what he did when it was always active. Kakashi's like, what's going on? It's Naruto goes, relax Kakashi-sensei. If I have done it correctly, the Sharingan should activate as if it was part of your DNA. So let's say for instance you were to have children, the DNA will pass on to your children and so on and so forth. If I think that's how it works, Naruto's like, I'm still figuring that out. But I'll get back to you, Kakashi-sensei. And Kakashi's like, he's very grateful. Like he can use the Sharingan. He thinks about when he walks, he can even now practice that jutsu. And Naruto stops and looks at Kakashi, and with looking at Kakashi, he instantly enters Kakashi's mind. They both talk briefly inside their mind and then walk away. And then Sasuke notices it, but he doesn't understand yet, okay? Now, when they get back to Konoha, Kakashi instantly, undoubtedly states that Team 7 should not do the tuning exams. They're way too good to be beginning. They should be top tunings at this present time. Sasuke, you know, everyone. Sasuke using Genjutsu, Sakura being able to use illusions, Naruto the Rinnegan, it's stupid. But the third Hokage understands this procedure, so Kakashi's like, very well. He goes to tell Team 7, and when he goes to see Team 7, they're actually practicing. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura, they're all training properly. Sakura practicing her illusion casting, and even getting into straight hand-to-hand combat. And what happens is Sasuke himself activating the Sharingan, going backwards and forth with a fighting with a shadow clone of himself. Working skills, doing fireball jutsus back and forth, you know, Naruto and Sasuke and Sakura didn't let down. And Naruto, floating in the mid-air, lifting up massive rocks around him. But he's just practicing, he's focusing his chakra. And when Kakashi goes, everything goes back down where Naruto is, Sasuke deactivates a shadow clone, and Sakura, that stops her using her illusion abilities. They walk over and Kakashi explains that, well, I'm quite proud of you guys, to be honest, and to be fair, you guys shouldn't be doing this test. But just out of respect for the third Hokage and the rules of Konoha, you guys are being entered into the training exams. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura high-five each other. They're all excited. Bear in mind now, this Sasuke's heart is going to be changed by the influence of this godly Naruto. Okay, guys? So I hope you guys are following. And even Sakura. In fact, the entire Konoha village is going to change thanks to Naruto. Okay? To the best. And so what goes down is Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura understand what they need to do, and they head into do the tuning exams. Because Naruto can see with his Rinnegan, he can see everything, everyone's movements, everyone talking, all that stuff, and he sees everyone's test. But like in canon, he writes nothing. And he passes. When they walk into the room with Genjutsu, Naruto kind of laughs. Even Sasuke laughs at it. Sakura's like, are they trying to fool anyone? They look at each other like, what are we even doing here? They walk out, but it's Sakura that berates the men that put them under the Genjutsu, the tunings. And Sakura goes, that's not a Genjutsu, I'll show you one. She does a Genjutsu in the hallway and turns into a massive cave full of lava and monsters, which scares the two tunings because they can't discern between real and fake. And this shocks everyone. They're like, what the? And Sakura's like, walked away. Sasuke smiles like, you're pathetic. And Naruto says nothing. He don't pick up no one, nothing like that. He just walks away. And what happens is Rock Lee comes to challenge the fabled Uchiha. And knowing that, he looks at Naruto and goes, I would like to challenge you also, crippled eye boy. Naruto's like, huh. But when Naruto sees him, he sees this boy is actually really strong, physically. And Naruto's like, He's about to contemplate something, but Sasuke goes, okay, then I'll fight you. Naruto looks at Sasuke and realizes that despite Sasuke being as strong as he is now, if it goes the way this boy goes, it's going to be his way. And yep, so it does. Sasuke and Rock Lee's fight pretty much goes the same despite Sasuke's power buff. Sasuke underestimated that Rock Lee was using taijutsu instead of any other form of fighting style, ninjutsu and all that. So Sasuke severely underestimated him. As Naruto was watching though, Naruto watched as Rock Lee open the first gate. Naruto's like, huh? What's that? And he registers all of Rock Lee's chakra pathways. All 7 gates. He doesn't see the 8th gate yet, but he sees the chakra pathway that Rock Lee is actually accessing. Naruto's like, incredible. And as Naruto's looking there, he's focusing and he activates the first gate. When Naruto opens the first gate, he can't believe how much chakra comes off him. Him opening the first gate sends shockwaves in the entire room, stopping Sasuke and Rock Lee's fight, cracking the ground underneath him. Naruto's like, whoa! My guy looks at Naruto and he realizes what has just happened. Instead of scolding Rock Lee, he goes down and he tells Rock Lee to congratulate and end the fight properly. Sasuke and Rock Lee get up. Well, they do the union sign. Sasuke happy, but they're kind of consumed with Naruto, you know? Naruto's standing there like, okay, what's happening? And my guy goes, you've just opened the first gate, Naruto. Incredible. The power shouldn't be manifesting or affecting this way. It must be your unique power. Naruto smiles, okay, how do I turn this off? He just focuses on Naruto. Close the pathway as he opened it. Naruto goes, oh. He breathes in and he breathes out. The pathway immediately closes and guy goes, incredible. I've never seen that happen before. My name is Mike Guy, and I'm the green leaf, or green beast of the hidden leaf. Naruto's like, wow. When he looks at Mike Guy, Naruto looks at him and he sees he is no joke. This guy will kill anyone in the village. Naruto's like, nice to meet you, strongest man in the village. And Kai's like, Kai kind of gets the biggest chip on his shoulder. This god of a kid saying that he's the strongest. He shakes Naruto and goes, ha 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 ha, if you ever want to train, kid, I'll take you on. And Sakura goes, but Kakashi Sensei won't like that. Kai's like, Kakashi's your sensei? Alrighty then. Well, Lee, we got you a sensible rival, you and Sasuke. And looks at Naruto and goes, you'll give Neji a good go, Naruto. Let's go, Lee. Lee bows to Sasuke, and Sasuke thanks Lee for the good fight, and he won't hold back next time. Sasuke's kind of in a humiliated way, but Rock Lee understands and he accepts Sasuke and thanks Sasuke for a great bout they just had. And so from there, Team 7 go through all their dumb matches, to be honest, even when it comes to the Forest of Death. Now, the Forest of Death is the situation that really is going to change, okay? Because prior to this, Naruto met Conqueror, and in meeting Conqueror, he met Gaara. When Naruto and Gaara made eye contact, Shikaku within Gaara got scared instantly. Not only did Shikaku feel Kurama in Naruto, but he saw the Rinnegan, and Shikaku was afraid. No one should have the Rinnegan but the old man, he knows that. But when he sees Naruto with the Rinnegan, this kid that has the Nine-Tailed Fox in him, gives him more hatred. And so he causes a nightmare within Gaara. He makes Gaara's life a living hell. Well, in Konoha. So when as the Forest of Death goes down, Gaara is so aggro, and he's smart. He put sand all through the Forest of Death, so he can make eyes everywhere to know where he needs to go. But not only that, Gaara puts sand underneath the ground to make more sand, you know, get everything more ready, just in case he needs to fight this Rinnegan kid. And as Naruto can feel Gaara's killing intent, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura are happy. They're finding it funny, you know. They're gonna blast through this tuning exam. So Sasuke goes, yes, he's got someone now strong to fight, especially that this guy's Taijutsu fighter. Naruto goes, yeah, I actually watched your guys' fighting style, and that was amazing. Naruto explains, Sasuke goes, Naruto goes, if you were able to use your normal ninjutsu, then it would have been an uneven fight, you would have won, but hands down. And Sasuke goes, he knows that, but he was grateful to see the extent of someone else without using ninju or ninjutsu. And so, as Team 7 goes to the Forest of Death, in the corner of Naruto's eye, he sees Orochimaru. He stops in his place. Orochimaru knows that Naruto has noticed him. Immediately, and because Anko has already told everyone to leave, Orochimaru rushes into the Forest of Death and Naruto watches him. When Anko and all the main Jonin see on and they watch that Naruto is concerned with this one person, what ends up going down is Conan is advised. Oh, Conan, sorry, my bad. Anko is advised to watch Naruto, not to protect him, but there's a reason. They know Naruto is different. They know he's different and so as the Forest of Death situation is going down, Naruto and the team got them together and they pretty much conquer it much more easier because all the team are just monsters, you know. And what happens is it's Naruto that saves Karin from the bear this time, not Sasuke. But Sasuke's there also. Naruto stops the bear from hitting Karin, and Sasuke jumps in with a fireball, smacking the bear away. And so Karin, just like Sakura, has a crush on both of them, which causes a mini feud between Sakura and Karin, to be honest. Naruto's like, alright. And so when it comes to the fabled time that Naruto needs to piss, he goes, and they give a password. Knowing that Naruto is smart, now getting smarter, Sasuke says words but gives him a hand sign down the bottom, towards Naruto notices it. Seeing that, Naruto walks away. Orochimaru comes as disguised as Naruto. He saves the password but not the hand code, and Sasuke immediately, without hesitation, even Sakura puts her hands together and casts a small version to the Infinite Darkness Jutsu, but just around Orochimaru. Orochimaru's like, please, do you really think this will work? And Sasuke goes, no, but that's all. Sasuke touches the ground, a seal appears around Orochimaru. He looks at the ground and goes, what the? When did you? Naruto goes, so he goes, fire style, taps his foot on the ground, puts his hands together, and he blows fire into his hand, and he goes, fire style, fire seal jutsu, places his hand on the ground and places the fire into the seal, and it instantly expands around Orochimaru. Orochimaru is quite surprised that Sasuke did this, and Sasuke goes, let's go Sakura, this will only hold him for like a minute or so. Sasuke and Sakura run away. Naruto hears the commotion, and when Naruto gets up, the hidden sound shinobi tries to get Naruto. Naruto smiles, looking at him. He goes, I can see you, you know. And the hidden sound shinobi's like, what? Naruto goes, you're a perv, you know that? Naruto lifts his hands up and goes, be gone. Boom! Naruto blows them all away. And when everyone feels that shockwave that Naruto does place through the Forest of Death, Shikaku is absolutely afraid. He instantly pulls up as much sand as he can and protects Gaara. Gaara's like, what the hell are you doing? And Shikaku's like, shut up! Like they're arguing in plain day. And what happens is Conqueror and Tomorrow are like, what's the matter, Gaara? And Gaara's like, let's go! They get out of the Forest of Death, they complete it completely instantly. But what goes down is, after that situation with the Sound Ninja, Naruto turns around and he flies straight over, because bear in mind, Naruto can fly. As he flies over, he catches up with Sasuke and Sakura and goes, hey, what's happening? Sasuke goes, Naruto? Naruto does a hand sign right in front of Sasuke, and Sasuke goes, I should have known it was you. No one flies anyway. Naruto kind of giggles. And so after reconfirming, Naruto goes, what's the happenings? What's the haps? And Sasuke explains, a guy tried to appear as you. And right as he says that, a gigantic snake comes. As it goes to try to bite Naruto, Naruto instantly opens his hand. A chakra rod comes out of it. Naruto doesn't even know, but without hesitating, Naruto shoots a chakra rod right through the snake's head, slamming the snake into the tree. Orochimaru gets thrown off the tree. And when Naruto sees this, without hesitating, Naruto instantly does a small almighty push. Bear in mind, Naruto's he's quickly draining himself, but this is when he realized, when he opened the first gate, he didn't run out of chakra, and instead he was super duper strong, and the power that he was exerting was enormous. And so when Orochimaru gets up, he's quite amused by this kid. He goes, this boy reminds me of Pain. However, he's very weak compared to him. It would be a cinch for me to take those Rinnegan. And then I'll take that Sasuke's body. And when as Orochimaru gets up, Naruto's like, he gets down. Orochimaru flexes his chakra and Sasuke feels it. He feels it really. And this is when Anko realizes that Orochimaru. Anko immediately sends a sign. But when she does so, a snake grabs Anko and bites Anko's neck. And Anko goes, nice try, but I'm immune to most venoms. And the snake morphs into Orochimaru's face and he goes, my dear student Anko, do you really think you surpass me? Please. The curse mark activates on her neck immediately and she instantly falls to the ground, being not able to send a signal at all. Anko is in absolute pain, falling to her death from that high. Sakura sees this. She jumps away and grabs up Anko, and she manages to use a weak wind style jutsu, like a wind style, wind pillow jutsu, some form of wind style to soften the fall. Because both of them hit the ground. When Naruto sees this, and Sasuke sees this, Sasuke's kind of scared now. Okay, no confidence. Not the fact that he's doubting Naruto's confidence. He'd never met someone so vicious before. Itachi didn't even give off that vicious vibe. Zabuza didn't either, compared to Orochimaru. But Naruto had enough of it. Naruto opened the first gate immediately. And opening the first gate in his mind, his Rinnegan instantly opened up and the whole area instantly flooded with power. Shockwaves were felt throughout the entire forest. Orochimaru feels this. He thought this was Naruto's killing intent until he realizes. He goes, no way that this brat has been able to do this. And Naruto goes, I've only got one shot at this. Naruto opens his hand. Orochimaru drops the snake. The moment Sasuke pins his hand into the ground, puts his hands into the ground, and as Orochimaru does this, Naruto goes, be gone. First gate, almighty push. Boom! The almighty push explodes, destroys Orochimaru's body, and leaves his arm. Not realizing that Orochimaru inorganically turned out into a snake, and the mouth opened and Orochimaru spun underneath the ground, popped out behind Sasuke as Naruto does the first gate almighty push. In doing so, Naruto pretty much runs out of chakra nearly immediately. And what goes down is, as Naruto hits the ground, he turns around and Sasuke is screaming in absolute agony as Orochimaru wraps his arms around him and bites Sasuke. And as he bites Sasuke, he's about to take off. Naruto's eyes immediately turn red. The Nine-Tails was watching instantly. Naruto grabs Sasuke with almighty pull. Pulls Sasuke, chakra rod comes out of his hand, he chucks it right at Orochimaru. Orochimaru knows if this thing gets him, he's pinned like a snake. His snake was gone at the moment this thing hit him. So Orochimaru grabbed his sword, smacked his sword, and it broke his sword in half. Orochimaru knew that this is the time and place to go, because Naruto started waving hand signs, and as Orochimaru's sword broke and he looked at Naruto did a massive fireball jutsu with the remaining chakra he had. That fireball jutsu engulfed the entire area. Orochimaru just got out alive. Sasuke is thriving in absolute pain. Naruto's out of chakra. Anko is now recovering from the incident, and Sakura grabs them. Now Anko sees the curse mark and is about to call it no, comes and pulls Sasuke up, but Sasuke goes no. And Sasuke looks at Anko and states, you got one of these too. That means you shouldn't be in the shinobi, right? And she stops and she understands. She stops and understands. And so from there, Anko tells Sasuke, if you ever need help, even with your inorganic transformations, and he goes, what do you mean? She goes, but the power that you have in your neck, if not properly treated, you could possibly die, Sasuke. Bear in mind, this is a Sasuke that's recovering. This is before they all get picked out to fight the different fighters. Naruto still with Sakura, just get recovering, you know? And so when Anko, and this is before they're in the Forest of Death, Anko explains that she knows too well how Orochimaru was, that was her master after all, her sensei. And she's told Sasuke that she will help him when the time comes. I am here for you. Sasuke looks down, kind of blushes in a sense, you know, because she really gets up in his face. And he goes, I appreciate it. Naruto kind of gets up, he's looking at Sasuke. That was the first thing. One of his eyes is closed, he looks at Sasuke, points a finger, and he goes, Sasuke! And Sasuke looks at Naruto. Sakura kind of finds it funny as well. She's jealous, but finds it funny. Anyway, Team 7 managed to easily get out of the Forest of Death. And when they get to the tower, that's when Naruto sees Karin. Karin immediately rushes over to help Naruto by giving some of the chakra that she has. But Naruto, that's alright, it's alright. Naruto gets over Karin's just head over heels for Naruto and Sasuke, so she's like kind of obsessed, which leads to a lot of different things. But anyway, when they get chosen to fight, because Naruto is the way Naruto is, they don't get Naruto to they do, but I'm still saying Naruto whitewashes Kiba, okay? Naruto watches Kiba's man-beast transformation, he learns that jutsu, and learns how to do it, and he pretty much does it. Bear in mind, Naruto has watched everyone do jutsu in front of him, so he can do a lot of unique things, like things people don't know about, not yet anyway. And so while Naruto is easily handling the situation, Might Guy tells Kakashi that Naruto opened the first gate. And when Guy sees Kakashi's eyes, he's like, hey, where's your Sharingan? And Kakashi goes, right here. He activates it, he's like, what the hell do you? Kakashi explains he'll tell him later, but Kakashi goes, what about the first gate? What are you saying? He goes, yeah, Naruto opened the first gate. He goes, you got someone special there, Kakashi? And Kakashi's like, whoa, that's a pretty big thing. And he goes, yeah, almost destroyed the entire building, to be honest. Kinda scared what that kid can do. And not only that, the other Sharingan user, for him to keep up with Sasuke, for Rock Lee's movements, I must say, Kakashi, you're one good team. And what happens is Kakashi goes, well, you gotta understand, you have a good team too. Look at that, you got Neji, Taijutsu specialist. You got Tenten, a weapons specialist, and Rock Lee, another unique Taijutsu specialist. And guys like, hopefully our fighters can get to fight each other at the end, right? See who's the better sensei. You know, because we're both even and all. Kakashi goes, if I remember correctly, guy, I'm winning. They both look at each other and smile. And so from there, the tuning exams happen easy. Naruto copies Kiba's attack and he makes his own from a man-beast transformation with a clone. And defeating Kiba with the same attack, you know. Naruto picks up Kiba and gives him his respect, and everyone loves it, you know. When it comes to the Neji and Hinata fight, this gets to Naruto, because Naruto can see everything in slow motion. So as he's watching Neji pretty much beat down Hinata with so much malice, hatred, anger, Naruto can see this and it's actually boiling up in him. The Nine Tails always tells Naruto, calm down, Naruto. And so after Neji gets stopped by the Jonings and all that stuff, Naruto states to Neji, if I see you at the end, or if I see you at the tuning exam, Neji looks right at Naruto. Naruto kind of teleports right in front of him. He's floated in midair. Naruto unintentionally opens the first gate and allows his chakra to overflow in his Rinnegan, which makes a massive air shockwave. When Neji sees this scares the hell out of him. Naruto's floating over above him. And then Naruto goes down, he grabs Hinata and flies back up to where Onko and them. Hinata's in absolute pain. Naruto, he calmly asks, hey Nine Tails, and he goes, you got chakra, you can use your own. Why rely on mine? Your chakra's just as massive as mine if I think of it. Naruto's like, how? And he goes, you are one dumb kid. Naruto's like, come on, I'm still learning, man. He's like, And Naruto goes, do I have a book that tells me how to use these eyes? Come on, read it to me, Nine Tails. And he goes, quirky smart comments not gonna get you anywhere, Naruto. And my name is Kurama. Naruto goes, Kurama, awesome. Well, can you help me out today? And Kurama goes, why do I have to do this? Babysitting for that old man. But Kurama starts to like badger and complain like an old wife. Naruto kind of thanks Kurama. He goes, put your hand on the water. Naruto places his hand on the water. Now, I must state to you guys, the reason why I always say for Nine Tails to tell Naruto to place his hand in this water, because the Nine Tails is freely giving Naruto chakra without malice. Just like how Naruto touches the chakra he stole from the Nine Tails and it turns into the KCM1 form, same kind of difference. Naruto touches the water, touches Kurama's chakra, and he's able to put it through people. Same concept, okay? Now you guys understand? Let's continue. As Naruto floods with chakra, he puts his hand on Hinata's head, healing her entirely, completely. And Naruto gets up and goes, that was worth it. He sits on the ground. Whew, I need to start doing that. Kurama goes, you will be much stronger if you learn how to control that power and practice yourself, Naruto. Stop relying on my power. My power was always here and when you truly need it. You've got a lot of power of your own. You are more dangerous than I am, Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto's like, okay. And so, after Hinata's battle, Sakura takes out Ino. What's it called? Sasuke. His fight is still the same. And so, relative, everyone goes the same way. Now, Sasuke Kakashi train hardcore. Now, when I mean they train hardcore, they train hardcore. Kurenai actually puts a lot of practice into Sakura because she sees the same potential in Genjutsu like she has. But Sakura, in the 1 month time frame, absolutely exceeds Kurenai's Genjutsu expectations to the point where Sakura has near perfect chakra control, where she could do Genjutsu and make it look real, almost. But not only that, Kurenai also made sure that Sakura can fight hand to hand, but she told her that that's not her expertise, and so Sakura has to develop her own Genjutsu in her mind, her own power properly, but also make sure she's physically strong enough to fight in the outside world as well. She can't just rely on Jutsu. So this stays in Sakura's mind, okay? And so when it comes to Sasuke's training, he's training with Kakashi. And then after training with Kakashi and learning the Chidori early, because he learns the Chidori early. Oh my goodness, sorry, I like I'll leave that in here so you guys can mock me. It's funny. Well, anyway, when Sasuke learns the Chidori, oh my gosh. And he begins to master it. By that time he mastering that, he actually unlocked his third Tomo on both his eyes. And speaking of Tomos, this is when Kakashi begins to practice with Sasuke upon Genjutsu and actual range. And Sasuke and Kakashi build like a brotherly bond properly. Full on bond. Sasuke lets his guard down. And it's only because Naruto made Sasuke feel powerful. Kakashi makes Sasuke feel powerful. The fact that Anko here is to specially train Sasuke makes him feel even more powerful. Okay? And so, as this is all going down, Sasuke learns inorganic snake transformations, you know, like using snake jutsus and stuff like that, and it works. She even develops a medicine, the same type of medicine Orochimaru gives to Sasuke to keep him alive when Kimimaru takes Sasuke. And so when Sasuke gets the medicine and he sits in a pot that Anko created, Sasuke awakens fully with a better version of the curse mark on his neck under his control, not Orochimaru's. But unlike Anko, because Sasuke has a stronger body and stronger power, he could achieve a power that she can't. And she just teaches him how to utilize the power perfectly. And Sasuke becomes a pro inorganic snake transformation to the point where he even learns how to summon Iota at this time. So Sasuke learns the Chidori inorganic transformation. He can't use the curse mark yet fully, but he has it. And he can summon Iota. That's Sasuke. And 3 Tomo Sharingan. So he's quite a beast. Kakashi himself, he's a beast. He's learned how to activate his Mangekyo Sharingan and he can utilize it. The unique thing about it though was thanks to Naruto giving his chakra and reactivating the Sharingan, Kakashi's Mangekyo will never go blind. But he'll run out of chakra like he normally does, so he still needs to understand. And so, what ended up going down is as Sasuke's training pretty much ends and Sakura's training pretty much ends, the only one that's pretty much had his own training is Naruto. Now Naruto's obsessed with learning now, thanks to Kuraba and the third Hokage. So Naruto walks in the library, clicks his fingers and goes, where to begin? Does multi-shadow clone jutsu, and the real Naruto sits down and eats a bowl of ramen at the ramen noodle store, while the rest of his shadow clones, thousands of shadow clones, are reading every single literature in the libraries. Naruto's learning all he can upon chakra, jutsus, clan, blah 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 blah. When Naruto finds out that the Uzumaki were the most powerful sealing clan, this is why he found it happy. And so what happened is Naruto made it apparent that, like the Uchiha, the Uzumaki are nearly extinct. And so Naruto thinks for a while upon this. But not only that, he learns a lot of ridiculous jutsu. And it comes to the point where he wants to learn the flying Raijin. But no one can teach him this. One day as Naruto is walking, he sees a pervy man looking through a toilet or bathroom. And it's like, hey you, pervy man, what the hell are you doing? And as he goes, shush kid, you're gonna give me away. Naruto's like, huh? Opens his hand up, does an almighty pull and pulls Jiraiya. But Jiraiya is smart and instantly does Raging Lion's meme and holds onto the bridge and holds him in place. And Naruto's like, huh? And Jiraiya goes, Naruto Uzumaki. I see it's you that's interrupting me. How ironic. And Naruto's like, And he walks over to Naruto. Yep, you're definitely Naruto. My name is Jiraiya. I am the legendary Toad Sage of Mount Miyaboku. And I was your father's teacher. Naruto's ecstatic, his eyes widen, he's like, you are the Toad Sage? Naruto's just, boom, his mind exploded of happiness. Someone strong, powerful, wise, super unorthodox can teach him. Naruto's already read Jiraiya's story. Okay, knows that Naruto and Jiraiya was a complete idiot, like Naruto should have been. And so, Naruto and Jiraiya begin their month training. Jiraiya actually finds out that Naruto learns all his jutsus in a matter of days. So every jutsu Jiraiya teaches him, Naruto learns easily. The Rinnegan he masters in a day. Summoning jutsu he masters in a day. Naruto and Jiraiya's like, I don't know what to teach you. And this is when Jiraiya realizes all the training he did with Nagato. And he explains Nagato to Naruto. And Naruto is quite happy there's another Rinnegan user out there. And it brings warmness to Naruto's heart. And so Naruto and what's his name? Jiraiya, they train differently. Jiraiya pushes Naruto in the same way as Nagato, but in more of a sense of family. Like, well, Jiraiya is his family, his godfather. Naruto knows that Jiraiya is his godfather. And so Naruto learns nearly every jutsu Jiraiya can put out to train him. Everything but Sage Mode. That's one thing Naruto hasn't learned. He knows about it, thanks to Jiraiya, but he doesn't know Sage Mode. And so from there, what happens is the month training ends. Naruto comes back, he is a monster in power. Absolute monster. Sasuke is a beast and Sakura is something else entirely. So as all the teams make it to the arena, what goes down is Naruto has a brief talk with Sasuke and Sakura upon their little catch up, what happened of their training. But Sasuke is confident that he'll easily dismantle Neji, and as Sasuke jumps on the balcony, he tells Naruto that he see him in the finals. Sakura goes, hey, what about me? Naruto just looks down. Sakura's like, Naruto! And Sasuke jumps off, he goes, see ya, jumps off the arena. Bear in mind, this Sasuke is actually kind of happy. He has a connection with Kakashi, like a brotherly connection, properly, in a sense. And thanks to Naruto seeing the worth in Sasuke's power and pushing each other, yeah, this Sasuke has really no malice at all, to be honest. And thanks to Anko's connection with Sasuke, Sasuke was able to not only have the curse mark suppressed in a different way, but not need to have any form of intervention from Orochimaru when it comes to the medicine to keep Sasuke alive. So the Orochimaru part of Sasuke is nearly all but diminished, just like Anko. And so Sasuke is way more different. So as he lands in the arena, he appears in a very open spot, and this is where Neji walks over. Neji smiles and he goes, finally, I get to fight a worthy opponent. And Sasuke goes, you consider me a worthy opponent? And he goes, no, not really, but if I beat you, what's up? Correction. Sasuke goes, when I beat you, I'll fight Naruto Uzumaki and I'll dismantle him. And Sasuke goes, oh yeah? And what gives you this confidence? And Neji goes, it's because of this. Neji gets into a stance, his Byakugan activates. We are the Hyuga clan. We are the mightiest in all of Konoha. And Sasuke smiles and goes, prove it. Sasuke's Sharingan activates, and the moment the Prophet Saves begin, they both instantly enter into battle. Sasuke rushes into Neji, and Neji also kind of rushes into Sasuke. And what happens is the moment they come into hand-to-hand combat space, I guess, what ends up going down is they instantly start to trade blows. Sasuke immediately picking up Neji's kinetic motion and fighting style. Same here with Neji. Neji's instantly pointing out Sasuke's fighting style. And as Sasuke begins to continue fighting, Neji begins to get overwhelmed with Sasuke's taijutsu skills. And he starts to realize that Sasuke's fighting like Rock Lee, but faster, stronger. What the hell? And what I mean by that is Neji remembers Rock Lee's fight with Gaara, and Sasuke is pretty much mimicking all the moves, but at a more stronger, faster rate. And Neji's instantly on the defensive until Neji starts to throw Sasuke off guard with the rotation. He does one mini rotation to push Sasuke's attacks over, and Neji starts to do pressure point fighting. So it becomes really, really close quarter fighting between the two. No jutsus led off by Sasuke, and Neji started trying to get pressure points, stopping chakra points to Sasuke's body. But what happens is Sasuke is just really smart. He's just fighting through it, ducking, dodging all of Neji's attacks. Pushing them away, making sure he gets away from it. And as Sasuke bounces back, Neji tries to get Sasuke again with another rotation, but this is when Sasuke mimics the attack in a sense, but instead of sweeping Neji's, or stopping Neji's hand, Sasuke sweeps Neji's foot, which makes him lose balance just a bit, just fast enough for Sasuke to kick up, kicks up Neji back, and then Sasuke waves a hand sign, fire style, fireball jutsu, shoots a fireball jutsu. Neji sees this, he recovers immediately and begins to rotate, but he didn't realize what Sasuke did. As Sasuke does that, hits the ground, and he does the inorganic matter transformation, and does a snake, and does 3 snakes that rush out of Sasuke's arm, and in doing so, this takes everyone by surprise. Onku's like, yeah. And Kakashi's like, pretty cool. And as the snakes rush around and they instantly grab Neji. As Neji stops, and as they bite Neji, Neji tries to get them off by flexing his chakra and rotating around. He manages to stop the poison from paralyzing him. But what ends up happening is Sasuke waves a hand sign, and he goes, this was too easy. Grabs a snake and funnels lightning through the snakes with his own chakra, protecting the snakes from his own chakra so he doesn't kill the snakes that he summoned pretty much, or made. But he also put the lightning through the snakes and it instantly shocked Neji. Neji was absolutely pain. Sasuke pulls the snakes and slams Neji across the ground. Sasuke retracts the snakes. Neji is in a lot of pain now. Smoke's coming off his robes. He sits forward and looks over at Sasuke he's like, you were saying the Hyuga are the strongest in the village. Where? I don't see it. All I see is someone with special eyes pressing on upon something that may or may not be true. How do you know? And Sasuke's walking over. Neji gets up, he's really injured. And as he tries to throw a punch, Sasuke immediately catches the punch, sweeps Neji immediately, kicks him away. Neji hits the wall, and what happens is Neji begins to prattle on about destiny. But it's not that Sasuke did a talk no jutsu, it was one prodigy to another, to be honest. Sasuke tells Neji like he had to be humbled by Naruto to realize the worth and power. Sasuke has to strive to get stronger. Hatred gets him nowhere, vengeance gets him nowhere. So in all fairness, Sasuke used Naruto's most powerful jutsu, talk no jutsu. And in all fairness, Neji kinda changed from that. And Naruto shouts out, regardless, even if you were to win, Neji, I would have still changed you and the Hyuga way. Naruto smiles, Neji looks up to Naruto, and Sasuke goes, shut up! Naruto's like, sorry, Neji, he really changes from what Naruto said, and Sasuke basically said. And he takes Sasuke's advice on listening in the regards of, striving to become better than what you were. Find a new form of destiny. You're not beholden to the one that you're born to. Sasuke's sense of vengeance has almost died. And so what goes down is Neji, he gets up and still goes to the hospital, and everything from there goes down. All the fights go relatively the same. Shikamaru still loses to Tamari. I'm going to state that Sakura fights some random shinobi and wins. So she pretty much makes it into the final, like how Boruto, Sarada, and Gaara-san makes it in the Boruto anime. Pretty similar. Both Sasuke and Sakura make it in. And Tamari, then it comes to the fight between Naruto and Gaara. Gaara's already standing in the arena. He's really agitated, vein popping out of his head. He's really angry, and Shikaku's screaming at him. He goes, let me out, let me out, you lose, screaming at Gaara to let him out. The only way to win, let him out. And Gaara's screaming in absolute pain. Naruto lands on the ground. When he gets there, Kurama feels it, so does Naruto. Naruto's like, do you? And Kurama goes, yes. He goes, hey you, Shikaku. Shikaku's like, looks at Kurama and he goes, what's the matter, little cat? He got really angry. Oh, are you a squirrel? What are you? Shikaku got really pissed off. Naruto knew exactly what Kurama was doing. Gaara goes, very well. You got one of these beasts as well? Let's see who's better. Gaara gets ready. He waves himself off and tells Shikaku, you want to be free? Merge your chakra with my sand properly. And Shikaku does. He starts to give proper chakra to Gaara without flooding him or taking over. He doesn't like that Gaara is taking control. It's just the fact that Shikaku is scared of Naruto and he hates the Nine Tails. And so as it goes down, Naruto is watching this exchange with his Rinnegan. And he looks at Kurama, and Kurama goes, That stupid one tails. And Naruto goes, I just realized you just goaded him to getting angry, right? This will be an interesting battle. 2 Jinchurikis. I wonder who would win. Naruto goes, let's see. Naruto puts his hands together and fuses massive amount of chakra. Because Naruto has massive amount of chakra. Now, I mean massive, he has lots of chakra. Again, like Naruto, lots. And so, because of the month training with Jiraiya, Naruto learned a lot of things. And watching Orochimaru, everyone, he's just something else now. And so, as Naruto immediately comes in, what goes down is Gaara just sends a wave of sand. Naruto sees this, and instead of dodging or anything, Naruto just stands there as the wave of sands up here. What ends up going down is Naruto slams the ground, doing a massive earth style that comes up. Naruto weave no hand sign, nothing at all. Naruto just slams the ground, and the mud will come up. Naruto disappeared on the ground, and what ends up going down is 100 Narutos pop up out of the ground. They wave hand signs, and they do like a massive wind style, like a breakthrough jutsu. They do like a mini tornado around the whole arena. As Naruto is doing this, everyone's like, what the? Gaara's like, what's he doing? Naruto goes, there's other ways of attacking you without actually attacking you. Gaara's like, what? Naruto instantly throws another wind style right at Gaara, pushing him over. Gaara's like, how did you? Naruto's like, I'm actually over here. Gaara's like, huh? Naruto instantly puts his hands together, and as Gaara tries to do Santu, just do a slight grab Naruto, massive water puddle appears under Naruto and he goes, the easiest way to neutralize you is water style. So, let's go. Water style, massive water surge jutsu. Naruto slaps the ground. As he slaps the ground, massive pools of water starts to fill. And as it fills up, Gaara's like, no! He uses the sand to lift him up to fly. And as he's in the air, he's like, how did he create such a massive jutsu? I don't understand. Naruto goes, a lot of people don't. And a lot of people do. And Gaara looks back and Naruto's flying right behind him. I see you can fly. How interesting. Naruto instantly kicks Gaara straight away, and Gaara gets smacked straight off his sand bloody carpet. He hits the water and he goes under the water. And as he floats, Gaara's like, this can't be. And Shikaku's like, hurry up, let me out. And as Gaara starts to get angry, Shikaku uses the time and he starts to manifest his arm through Gaara. And even though he's in water, he was able to make his sand strong enough to build up, absorb all the water, and pretty much spew it out with the sand. Massive wind style, like absorption water jutsu, where he shoots water straight out of the sand. And so, as Naruto is watching this, he just puts his hand up and he absorbs all the jutsu pretty much, but he gets doused with the water. And Naruto's like, ugh, yuck. And as Naruto gets up, Gaara's looking at him half transformed. Half of Gaara's face is Shikaku and half of him is Gaara. Gaara's breathing. I let you take over. You win. And Shikaku's like, yeah. But no, that's not Shikaku's plan. Gaara don't know until it's too late. And so as this is going down, Orochimaru is watching. And he's like actually kind of nervous. Really nervous, in fact, watching Naruto, and he's kind of angry that Sasuke didn't rely on any form of his power. And knowing that he used inorganic snake transformations, meaning Anko taught him, meaning Sasuke and Anko are in a sense working to either eliminate or neutralize his curse mark, which pisses Orochimaru off even more. But back to the fight, as Orochimaru is watching, he signals to Kabuto to get ready. A flare gets signaled outside. That lets everyone know to begin battle very soon. And so as this goes down, he nods at Kabuto again. Kabuto immediately begins to do the Genjutsu and putting everyone asleep. In doing so, Hidden Sand and Hidden Sound Shinobi attack Konoha. Instantly coming around, snake summonings everywhere, massive attacks going around. And it's a big fest of battle. And as the third Hokage is slow to react, he gets taken off guard by Orochimaru, taken up top, and he put into a barrier. But this is where things, unfortunately, don't go Orochimaru's way. Because with Naruto seeing this, and with a stronger Team 7, and a stronger Kakashi, Kabuto tries to attack Kakashi, but Kakashi is just way different, okay? Bear in mind, the Sharingan no longer strains Kakashi. It's like him using normal jutsu. He doesn't get tired no more with the Sharingan as much. And so Kakashi is a beast to the point where he can he's a monster. And so Kabuto is not Kakashi's equal. In fact, Kabuto is instantly put on the back foot when it comes to Kakashi, to the point where he has to run away. Kabuto has to run away when it comes to Kakashi. And so as it does so, Guy goes and just demolishes everyone. Naruto standing, Shikaku's like, don't worry about them. fight me! Throws his hand up, partially transforms Gaara. Naruto instantly grabs the chakra rod and throws it right through Shikaku's hand. And as Naruto destroys Shikaku's hand, revealing Gaara's hand, Shikaku's like, what? How did he? Naruto appears, kicking Shikaku right in the face, but sending him flying away. And as Naruto does that, he turns around and sees a big barrier. Naruto looks around. As he's flying, he's sensing everything going down at once. Naruto puts his hands together, and doing so, Naruto makes 4 shadow clones. Those 4 shadow clones go out immediately. Naruto focuses the chakra a lot, and he curses himself, saying, damn it! I wish I learned Sage Mode. And so Naruto looks at Sasuke. Sasuke! Sasuke goes, right! Sasuke goes to help. Naruto looks around, and he sees the third Hokage is in need. And so he sends a shadow clone to fight Gaara, unfortunately. And the other 3 defend the village from the attack. The real Naruto smashes right through the barrier like it's nothing. Naruto rushes through, puts his hand in and absorbs it as he's going right through. So as he goes right through and lands and hits the ground, Naruto stands up and sees the first and second Hokage. And the third Hokage standing there and goes, nice of you to join me there, young Naruto. Naruto goes, Lord Third? And Naruto stands right up and goes, how's about we go around to Orochimaru? Orochimaru goes, so brash with those Rinnegan. What do you think you have to offer that will make me scared? Naruto goes, I've learnt a lot with Jiraiya Sensei. Naruto opens his hand, Orochimaru says, what? Naruto immediately pulls Orochimaru. Orochimaru tries to stop himself by using snakes, but instead of stopping her, he instantly gets his sword out of his mouth and spits it at Naruto. Naruto catches it, throws it down. Orochimaru remote controls it and tries to stab Naruto, but the third Hokage destroys it with his adamantine staff, Kinyenma. And it does that, Orochimaru instantly gets the first and second Hokage to attack. And this is where things become interesting. Naruto watches at first because the third Hokage tells Naruto, stand back, watch it, and observe everything. And Orochimaru's like looking at it, and he understands Naruto's Rinnegan, like the most upgraded versions of the Sharingan. So, of course, he'd be able to copy it like Kakashi, but in a more powerful way. And so Naruto flies up, and Naruto watches everything from the first Hokage using wood style, the second Hokage using water style, even the third Hokage using all those jutsus to counteract. Orochimaru's impressed, and so is Naruto. And Naruto's like, whoa. And this is the third Hokage as an old man. Naruto remembers the feeling of pulling, and he shoots a chakra rod out, and he waits for his time. And he sees that's when he sees it. When he sees the second Hokage use the flying Raijin. And when Naruto sees it, he's like, there it is. Chucks his kunai, but not his kunai. He chucks his chakra rod. He doesn't copy the jutsu. He just saw how it happened and how he did it. A marking and transportation jutsu. Naruto's interested. He finally seen it and knows how it's done. And so when he threw his chakra rod, it grabbed the second Hokage and pinned him into the ground on his leg. So he was locked. Naruto immediately appeared and shot 3 more through his body, locking him in place. He couldn't get up at all. And locked in the position. Orochimaru was shocked. Goes to try to bite Naruto. Naruto instantly turns around and instantly flexes his Rinnegan abilities. Naruto opens the first gate and then pushes it to the second gate. When he pushes this to the second gate, it makes the whole building vibrate. The first Hokage is no longer distracted fighting the third Hokage. He turns around to go to fight Naruto. Naruto knows he only has a brief window to use this jutsu right now. All the other shadow clones are fighting and they're decimating them. And so as this is all going down, Naruto immediately, so understand the fight sequence that I'm going to say are all going to be happening at the same time. Okay, so Naruto, as he's dominating Orochimaru, he knows he only has a certain window he can before he runs out of chakra. And he's got to focus properly. So without hesitating, he runs over, he immediately pulls the first Hokage in. And the first Hokage tries to beat Naruto, unintentionally rips out his soul, and rips out the second Hokage's soul. The same soul ripping ability that Pain does against Shizune in the anime. Watch it. Yeah, what's called Naruto rips out both their souls, and instead of he kind of absorbs them unintentionally. In doing so, he gained their knowledge, their memories, not their abilities per se. He needs to still practice about, but he gained in the sense their wisdom. And in doing so, Naruto unintentionally spat them out. From here, Naruto is dramatically changed by unintentionally absorbing their souls. But he dramatically also weakened himself, because at the very moment that happened, Naruto that's fighting Gaara has fully summoned Shikaku. At this point, Naruto standing in the air, confidently knowing he could take him on. But just for argument's sake, Naruto summons Gamabunta. But when Gamabunta is summoned, Sasuke also comes along and summons Iota. When Naruto sees Sasuke on a snake and makes him laugh, Sakura jumps on by Sasuke, and Naruto says, "Right, Team 7, here we go." Sakura immediately practices and does another small version to the Infinite Darkness, but it's only clouding Shikaku's eyes. And so Shikaku's like squinting through this like really dim area. He's like, what the hell happened? And she goes, "I got him." Sasuke goes, "Don't worry, Naruto, I got her." And so what happens is the snake instantly rushes over before Gamabunta and wraps around Shikaku immediately, pulls him up. Gamabunta jumps down and shoots a massive water ball jutsu at Shikaku, hitting them down on the ground. And what's called Iota holds Shikaku tight. Naruto jumps straight off Gamabunta. And what happens is Gamabunta lands, stabs a sword right through Shikaku, holding him down. Shikaku's like, "No, wait, please." Naruto's like, "Time to wake up." Boom! Lands a fist right at Gaara's face, waking them up completely. Because at that time, Naruto opened the 2 gates, fighting the first, second, and Orochimaru. So Naruto clones are really boosted powerful right now. But right as Naruto did that, Naruto absorbing the first and second Hokage spirit will end up going down. Naruto instantly on all the clones and Naruto fell to the ground. They're still existing. They're all panting. They're all really tired. But it was called the toll it took absorbing and extracting the souls out of them again. In doing so, Naruto released the first and second Hokage so they weren't Edo Tensei. Orochimaru's like, he can't believe what's going on. The third Hokage held him off the whole time there, Orochimaru. Naruto's looking, he goes, "You got this little dude?" He looks at Naruto. He goes, "Yeah, definitely I do." Orochimaru is really angry and the third Hokage begins to press him to the point where Orochimaru has to get out of there. He has to abandon the Konoha Crush. Thanks to Naruto's effort, the third Hokage survived. Naruto still does a massive talk no jutsu to Gaara, which makes Gaara realize that, hey, there's other people. And so the Sound and the Hidden Sand pretty much surrender and come to terms with what they have to face. And so what happens, Naruto wakes up in hospital because he blacked out after defeating everyone, and lots of memories flood through Naruto's minds. Naruto begins to cry as he's just lying there. He sees the first Hokage's dream all the way up to the point where the first Hokage died. He saw his life with Mito, Tsunade, the Nine Tails, all of that, and the second Hokage, and Naruto sees the hatred that the second Hokage had for the Uchiha and how stupid it was. Naruto has a deeper understanding upon them. And not only that, unintentionally, Naruto fundamentally has now knows Sage Mode. Hashirama Sage Mode, not Jiraiya's. Unintentionally, because he absorbed Orochimaru, Hashirama's spirit, he learnt all of it. It's just he has to practice it. And so, Naruto is feeling odd about himself. He no longer feels like Naruto Uzumaki no more. He feels like a guy that can do everything and nothing at the same time. Like, Naruto kind of lost his identity there at that moment. He stands there, stands on the first Hokage's monument all the time after the Konoha Crush. And Naruto just ponders, he doesn't know what he's doing. Or that's all he's saying, he doesn't know what he's doing. Sasuke comes to visit Naruto, and they talk. And Sasuke just explains to Naruto, "Don't worry, what you experience is, if someone in your position had to experience it, then it's good that it was you, Naruto." And Naruto goes, "I don't know about that, Sasuke." He goes, "To know what I know, to feel what I feel, the love, the hate, 2 lifetimes that I shouldn't know about, jutsus that, to be honest, I feel like I'm cheating." Sasuke looks at Naruto and goes, "Cheating? Really? And your eyes say what exactly, Naruto?" Naruto laughs, Sasuke laughs, and Sakura comes. He goes, "It's alright, Naruto, don't worry about it." And Naruto goes, "Hey, Sakura." She goes, "We're all here. Don't feel disheartened. Just note that we now have to catch up to you now even further, and that you have more of a target on yourself now, Naruto." Naruto goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, you're pressing to become Hokage, right? You have the equivalent knowledge of 2 other Hokages, and you have God eyes. So yeah, I don't see nothing wrong with your ability, what you did, Naruto." Naruto's just he's thanking them for trying to cheer him up. And so Naruto gets up and goes, "Okay then." And so they all begin to get over it. As this is going down, because Sasuke is not injured, Sakura's not injured, Naruto is recovered and fine. What goes down is this is when Itachi and Kisame enter Konoha. Now Kisame and Itachi are talking about it, and from Itachi's perspective, he doesn't remember Naruto having Rinnegan, so these must be just legends. But Kisame is interested. He goes, Rinnegan, like the one that our leader Pain has? He goes, yes. He goes, this kid must be really powerful. Makes sense, the Nine Tails Jinchuriki. And as they're walking through, Kakashi notices them. But the one thing Itachi wasn't ready for was the fact that Kakashi has both his normal eyes, not something covering his eye. So Itachi was like, is this a transformation? And so as they sit down and they're talking, Kisame and Itachi leave, and Kakashi, Kurenai, and Asuma leave, and they appear in front of them. Now, the interaction relatively goes the same actually, but the only thing is, what happens is when Itachi activates his Mangekyo, this is when Kakashi activates his Mangekyo and closes his left eye, well his eye there is human, or normal eye anyway. And as Itachi sees it, he goes, impressive, Kakashi of the Sharingan. And Kakashi goes, well, you should know, you were once my student. Itachi goes, alright then, he closes his eyes. If that's not gonna work, this will bomb Amaterasu. Shoots Amaterasu at Kakashi. Kakashi, without reacting, before it hit him, he used calmly, unintentionally, and absorbed the entire Amaterasu. Kisame sees this and he sees the opening, he rushes over to go swipe at Kakashi while he's distracted, but Might Guy comes, kicks Kisame straight in the face like it was nothing, sends him flying like the little piece of fish that he was, and scatters across the water. Itachi and Kisame realize that they're going to be outmatched by this monster right in front of them, disappear and ditch. Kakashi's like, I can't believe that work. And Guy goes, you're right. And he goes, yeah, just need to catch my breath. Wait. And he gets up, and then what happens is they go on a search to try to find them, but they can't find Itachi and Kisame. As this is going down, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura are talking about their upcoming missions, their trainings, and all that stuff. Naruto states that he's gonna continue training with Jiraiya, pursue his abilities, push himself further. There's things that he needs to go as well, like Naruto, there's a lot for Naruto. He even wants to go visit his home village. And Sasuke goes, home village? And he goes, my people are not from the land of fire, they're from the land of eddies. There may be special stuff there, special things I can learn, connect with my people at least. And Sasuke goes, I see. And so as they're talking and reminiscing, going upon their days, what ends up going down is one day Naruto is talking to Jiraiya and is hanging out, and while it goes down is Jiraiya tells Naruto that he's going to have to retrieve Tsunade to heal all the wounded in the village. And Naruto's like, oh okay, sweet, well I'll come with you. And Jiraiya's like, cool. And Sasuke tells Naruto, where you heading off to? I'm going with Jiraiya Sensei to find Lady Tsunade, you want to come? He goes, yeah, why not? Sakura says the same thing. They get permission from the third Hokage, bear in mind the third Hokage is still alive, and they don't need Lady Tsunade to mediate or become Hokage. Okay, they just need her to heal. And as they go and they speak, and Sasuke goes, so what jutsus have you learnt, Naruto? Naruto waves hand signs and puts his hands together and he goes, this, come close. And they get close and Naruto goes, wood style, wooden dragon jutsu. Big ass wooden dragon appears underneath them. Jiraiya's like, what the when did you learn wood style? Naruto goes, long story Jiraiya Sensei, but yeah, this is what I learnt so far, Sasuke. Sasuke goes, huh? Like looking at Naruto like, wood, but my fire style will burn. And Jiraiya goes, wood style is not just like normal wood, Sasuke. It's connected to the earth, chakra, nature energy. That's why it's so powerful. Why the first Hokage was so powerful, because wood style out of all the jutsus is heavily connected to the nature chakra. And Sasuke goes, huh? Naruto's like, I didn't even know that. And Jiraiya goes, well, it makes sense anyway, because how do trees beat the Nine Tails? They all look at each other like, oh, they get what Jiraiya means. And so as they're walking and trying to find the village, Sasuke starts to take a liking to Jiraiya. Sakura, however, is like, he's quite pervy and weird. And Naruto just finds him funny. And so as they start to go on, this is when they find Lady Tsunade at a bar. They all hang out and speak, and Tsunade looks at them and she's happy until she sees Naruto. Well, she sees a Jiraiya, of course, but when she sees Naruto, she goes, so it's true. Naruto Uzumaki has the Rinnegan. I'm guessing he knows his parents. And Jiraiya goes, She walks over to Naruto and she goes, nice to meet you, Naruto. My name is Tsunade. I am the granddaughter of Hashirama Senju. That's what Naruto says. And she's like, yes. And Naruto smiles. Nice to meet you. And they all catch up, and amazingly, there's no hostilities. In fact, Tsunade talks to them and states that Orochimaru come to see her about joining to help him, you know. He didn't get injured, but he's got things that he needs from her. But she goes, hell no. And so Jiraiya kind of gets angry, but Tsunade states that he's going to see Orochimaru in the morning. So what happens is there's actually no malice or malcontent or any anger when it comes to Tsunade and the Hokage, because the third Hokage is alive. And they managed to defeat Orochimaru and keep them and push him back. So she has more respect and happiness towards the third Hokage than anything. And so as Jiraiya and them they head off for the night, Jiraiya states, oh yeah, the old man states if you come back to Konoha and become the head medical nurse, he will pay for all your debt. Boom, she looks at Jiraiya and she's like, we'll leave first thing tomorrow morning. Jiraiya smiles, they drink and go to sleep, they wake up, and this is when Orochimaru appears. Orochimaru stands in front and Tsunade walks out, and Sakura happened to be awake at the time, and Orochimaru tries to convince Tsunade to come, and she's like, no, I'm not. And then without hesitation, Kabuto goes to attack Tsunade. With instinct, Sakura begins to weave hand signs, and she casts a genjutsu that pretty much makes Tsunade look invisible. Kabuto completely misses her, he's like, what the? And he feels a massive punch hit him, so hard he gets sent flying through a building. Sakura's like, what the? And Orochimaru's like, damn, that's Tsunade and his strength. Everyone hears the ruckus. Naruto jumps straight out the window instead of Sasuke. Jiraiya comes out, kind of groggy as hell. Shizuna's like, what am I missing? Tsunade's clenching their fist. Orochimaru's standing there ready, and Jiraiya's like, Orochimaru! And as they're all ready to square off, they look at each other, and Tsunade's like, I got this. This is where I'm going to end this one, guys. I hope you guys like this. Please like and subscribe, leave your comments down below. And I hope you guys continue to follow the series, okay? Bear in mind that the What If series itself, the likes for the next part is 250 likes, okay guys? You achieve this, I'll smack the next one, okay guys? It's gonna always take me some more time, like may take a day extra, only due to the fact I gotta focus on my kids, so just stay tuned. I will be bringing out my videos more frequently, so I hope you guys like them. But as usual guys, this is Dr. Kahu saying peace.